fantastic conversation this has been, and for you watching at home, thank you so much for all the SMSs and emails that have been coming our way. Mr. Krishmal Varnasurya, your final question. What's the case for more public engagement, more public interest litigation? How do we engage the public with the state? How does the public go about challenging governmental action?
Yeah, I'd like to start, Sonali, because time is short from where Professor Hettige stopped. You know, a colleague of yours at the bar and mine at the bar, a young lawyer who apprenticed me and junior, recently got married, came to me and said, sir, my wife and I have decided to go abroad. I said, why? I said, is it money? He said, no, both of us earn enough. We earn much more than what we want. I said, why? We don't want to bring up a child here. So what I told him, I'll leave with your viewer. The picture is not as bleak as we think, because I think the last election showed us something that we've been advocating, Sonali, for a long time. That is that people have come out of the shelter, the comfort zones of old parties. They've left Kapuat Kola, Kapuat Nil, Kapuat Ratu, and leave the Mahinda Rajapaksa factor aside, that he's an attractive leader. But the people have left their traditional parties, the 70, 65-year-old parties, and voted for a party that's not even 1 year old. That is democracy for me, because people have come out. People have left the shelter, the comfort, and that means that the people are willing to explore a third alternative. Now I'm asking the people, look at France. Your time is running out, I'm going to look at France, look at New Zealand, look at the changes sweeping across Europe, look at Canada. Get people's power to come to the fore, leave your party sanctities and party loyalties aside, and start thinking of a people's movement, a people's power, that if you can't directly go and represent yourselves or get your leaders elected, at least put enough pressure on those parties who are coming forward to put the right people forward for you to elect. I think that's how the people must move.
Thank you very much. Dr. W.A. Vijayawardena, putting the House in order in terms of getting right our macroeconomic fundamentals, executing market reforms, how is this all to be implemented, given the fact that government failures can oftentimes result in market failures?
Somali, in fact, before the local government election, if you had asked me this question, I would have said yes, we were on the right track. But now, of course, the things have changed, and because of the uncertainty in the government, it's very difficult for us to concentrate ourselves on a consistent policy reform program. But whatever it may be, it's a must, and whoever who would become the Prime Minister or whoever who would lead the country in the future will have to concentrate on the economic reform program, specifically the deregulation and the liberalization of the economy, if we are to attract investments and if we are to create additional wealth for the benefit of the people. So this is a must, and it has to be continued, and I hope that this particular political uncertainty which prevails in the country will be resolved pretty soon.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you for keeping your answer to exactly 1 minute. I know it's a challenging task. Mr. Chandra Jayaratna, former chairman, Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, is the public sector, is the private sector in Sri Lanka disenchanted with the current goings on? If so, how do we get the private sector back on track? How do we get the private sector to engage more optimistically with the government?
I think the private sector must also take action to hold the government to account and tell the government collective, principled leadership actions placing the nation and the people's interests first is all what we will accept, and that continuing instability, infighting, arrogance, egocentric political action, looking at personal and party-oriented focus must be stopped. Otherwise, that we in the private sector will ourselves have to take some action against the leadership, because you are denying not only us but all of the people of this country. So therefore we must put pressure upon the government.
All right, thank you very much. Professor Siri Hettige from the Department of Sociology of the University of Colombo. You shared so many interesting and engaging thoughts and perspectives. Tell us how we as a country need to be optimistic in this country.
Well, I think it all depends on the public discourse. I think we have to articulate, a perspective that would really inspire people, that would really give hope to people, that would really encourage people to engage in whatever they do. I think we'll have to get the public sector, reoriented towards development and public welfare, and that is what the public sector is all about.
How do we go about doing that?
Well, the point is that each one of the public institutions has a very specific role to play. Now, the universities have to really play that particular role that they are supposed to play. Basically, train young minds and to really produce people who are competent to perform various tasks.
Is that not being done at the present?
At the moment, I think we are not doing, we are not really doing enough. I think we certainly have to get, our selves organized to really perform. I think all the other public institutes, the law enforcement agencies, welfare institutions, the various, other regulatory bodies and so on, they certainly have to really do their bit so that we will be able to complement what the private entrepreneurs do.
All right, thank you very much. What a fantastic panel. Professor Siri Hettige, Department of Sociology, University of Colombo. Thank you, sir, for joining us on Face the Nation. Mr. Chandra Jayaratna, former Chairman, Ceylon Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for your role in effecting and campaigning for activism, really. Thank you so much. Dr. W.A. Vijayawardena, former Deputy Governor, Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Thank you for the service you render. And Mr. Krishmal Varnasurya, Attorney at Law and Public Rights Activist. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Charita Fernando and Nadeem Majid, thank you so much for the questions. To the politicians watching us at home, remember that the people are watching you and the people will hold you to account. Good night.